Hi you guys, I am sorry that I'm not here today, but I wanted to give you some help with the ALEKS assignment that you are supposed to do and have done by the end of class. So what I need you to do is make sure that you have a piece of paper out and something to write with, and that you also have a calculator. And I'm going to go through each of the different types of ALEKS problems that you'll see on your assignment, and I'm going to give you an example of how to do that one so that you can then complete your assignment. Okay, so the problems that I am doing are exactly like the problems that you're going to see. Mine just have different numbers than yours do, but you do them the same way. So with that said, I am going to start with showing you problem number one. Okay, so problem number one on your ALEKS assignment is going to ask you to order these numbers from least to greatest. And in order to order the numbers, you need to make sure that they are either all fractions or all decimals. Okay, I think it's going to be easiest for us if you put these all in their decimal form. Okay, so number one, 7 and 445 thousandths, that one's already in a decimal. Okay, this one right here, 7 and 4/11ths. So we have our whole number part 7, and then to change 4/11ths into a decimal, remember that a fraction is really just a division problem. And if we want to change this into a decimal, we do the division. So 4 divided by 11. You put the 4 in the calculator first, divided by 11, and you get 0.3636 repeating. Okay, so 7 and 4/11ths as a decimal is 7.36. Okay, and then we have 7.44. This one is already written as a decimal. And then to write 73 tenths as a decimal, we're going to take 73, so in your calculator you're going to type in 73 divided by 10, and you will get 7.3. Now once you have put all of these numbers into decimal form, we are now going to order them from least to greatest. So that means from smallest to biggest. So our very smallest number is 7.3, and then our next one would be 7.36 repeating, and then our next one would be 7.44, and then our next one is 7.45. Okay, so now we have ordered all of these numbers from least to greatest. Make sure that you have this example written down on a piece of paper so that when you do your problem number one, you have a reference. Okay, let's go ahead and look at problem number two. Okay, so on problem number two, my problem number two says to write 45% as a fraction in simplest form. Okay, so there are actually a couple of different ways that you can do this, and I'm going to show you both and let you choose which way you want to do this. So to write 45% as a fraction in simplest form, one way you can do this is that we know if it's a percent, that is out of 100. So 45% we could write as 45 over 100. And then we can simplify that fraction. So remember, to simplify a fraction in your calculator, you do 45 fraction button 100, and then you hit equals, and so that would be 9/20. Okay, another way that you can do this is you could take and write 45% as a decimal. So remember, to change this to a decimal, we move 2 places to the left. So 45% written as a decimal would be 0.45, and then this is tenths, this is hundredths, so you would write this as 45 hundredths. Okay, so either way you think about this, when you simplify the fraction of 45 over 100, you get 9/20. So 45% as a fraction in simplest form is 9/20. Let's look at number 3. Okay, so for number 3, you are asked to write 4.59% as a decimal. So it already has a decimal actually, but if we want to take away the percent sign, we're going to have to move that decimal 2 places to the left, and then we have to add a 0 in that empty space. So we would have 0.0459. Okay, so remember that if you are going from a percent to a decimal, you've got to move to the left 2 places. And if you are going from a decimal and you want to turn it into a percent, you move to the right 2 places. Okay, so for A, we were writing this as a decimal. We wanted to get rid of the percent sign. So our decimal was right here. We moved it 2 places to the left, and then we had to put a 0 in the empty space. For B, we have 0.056. If we want to write this as a percentage, to go from a decimal to a percent, remember we move to the right 2 places. So this would be 5.6%. Okay, so the next new type of question that you'll see, one that I haven't given you example for, is number 8. Okay, and this says rewrite the decimal in the sentence below as a percentage. So we're going from a decimal to a percentage. The mayor spent 0.2 of her yearly income on the campaign. We want to know what is that as a percent. So 0.2, if we want to change that to a percent, remember to go from a decimal to a percent, we move the decimal 2 places to the right. So that would be 20%. So the mayor spent 20% of her yearly income on the campaign. For part B, rewrite the percentage in the sentence below as a decimal. One energy drink tested had 83.9% of the amount of caffeine contained in a cup of coffee. We want to get rid of the percent here. So we want to write it as just a decimal. Whenever we want to get rid of the percent, we're going to move 2 places to the left. So we would have 0.839. That's how we remove our percent symbol. Okay, so you guys have an example of every type of problem that you're going to see on your ALEKS assignment. So hopefully you've written those examples down. You need to finish this assignment before the end of class. Okay, it's not an assignment that you can make up later. This is the one time that I'm not going to accept assignments late because we have a sub today. So I want you guys to be engaged and respectful and responsible while the sub is here. And I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and I will see you on Monday.